A heart beats, an eye blinks, a sprinter's muscles fire with explosive force. These simultaneous actions depend on a precise chemical trigger that coordinates movement at the molecular level. The disappearance of this force would be catastrophic. Brains would fail to send signals, bones would soften, and the heart would stop instantly. This is the work of element 20, calcium. In its pure form, it is a soft, silvery white alkaline earth metal that reacts instantly with oxygen and water. It functions as a dynamic engine, regulating the metabolic processes required for the second-by-second survival of every complex animal on Earth. An average adult contains roughly 1 kilogram of calcium. While 99% provides structural support in the bones, the remaining 1% maintains the body's most critical life support systems. Inside the nervous system, calcium forces nerve cells to release neurotransmitters, enabling every thought, sensation, and memory. When the body suffers an injury, calcium activates the proteins necessary to form blood clots, preventing excessive blood loss. Because these functions are essential for survival, the human body regulates blood calcium levels within an incredibly narrow and strict range. Maintaining these levels requires a steady intake of nutrients from leafy greens, tofu, seeds, and dairy, alongside vitamin D to facilitate absorption. If dietary intake fails, the body activates a biological failsafe. Hormones trigger a response that strips necessary calcium directly from the skeletal system. The body will sacrifice its own long-term structural integrity, risking future fractures and osteoporosis, to keep the heart beating and the nervous system firing today. This skeletal frame holds the vast majority of the body's calcium supply, providing the rigidity that allows for movement and protection. While this architecture appears to be a static, permanent framework of dead stone, it is actually in a state of constant flux. Specialized cells move through the body daily, dissolving old bone tissue and laying down fresh mineral deposits in its place. This continuous recycling loop means you regenerate a completely new skeleton roughly every 10 years. This biological building material was sourced from the planet itself, which holds massive reserves of the element. 3.6 billion years ago, Earth's oceans were heavily saturated with dissolved calcium ions. Microscopic organisms evolved to extract these ions, combining them with carbon and oxygen to crystallize hard protective shells. Over millions of years, countless generations of these creatures died, and their remains blanketed the ocean floor in thick layers. Geological pressure transformed these deposits into vast underground strata of limestone, marble, and chalk. Tectonic shifts eventually pushed these ancient seafloors upward, forming the massive limestone cliffs and mountain ranges of our modern landscape. Calcium is now the 5th most abundant element in the Earth's crust. Our towering geography is essentially the compressed remains of ancient marine biology. Human industry later learned to exploit these limestone deposits to physically construct the modern world. By heating raw limestone, society produces quicklime, a chemically reactive material used in a variety of industrial processes. It is used to manage soil acidity in agriculture and as a purifying agent in the production of steel. Most notably, calcium acts as the binding agent in cement, forming the foundation of our buildings, roads, and concrete bridges. Just as calcium provides the structural scaffolding for the human body, its processed forms provide the physical scaffolding for global civilization. Element 20 built the mountains and the skeletons inside us, but its origins lie far beyond the Earth. Heavy elements like calcium require the extreme heat and pressure found only inside the cores of massive stars. When these stars reach the end of their lives and explode in supernovae, they scatter calcium across the galaxy. Modern astronomy detects these signatures in meteorites and in the glowing atmospheres of exploding stars deep in space today. This means the same material detected in interstellar clouds is currently firing the muscle cells in your heart. The calcium in your body was forged billions of years ago in ancient stars, long before the Earth existed, linking your biology to the history of the galaxy itself. Whenever you see a limestone cliff or drink a glass of milk, remember you are witnessing the work of element 20, the stardust that became the silent architect of life. To continue exploring the periodic table, follow and subscribe. Join us for our next episode on Element 21, Scandium, and its role in modern aerospace technology.